1 Samuel 17, verse 38 through 40.
1 Samuel 17,
verse 38 through 40.
38 through 40. Just make sure you give us time and speak loud so the microphone can catch your voice.
Verse 38 through 40. Alright, before we read it, I'll give a little bit of history. Here the Israelites were in the midst of war. David's brothers were in the war, so he would bring them food. And as he was doing so, he overheard Goliath talking trash to the army of the Israelites. So David responded in verse 26, "How dare this uncircumcised Philistine talk against the army of the living God?" So David decides to go against Goliath, and Saul gives David his armor. So, would you like to read verse 38, Peter?
Be loud, Peter.
Saul put his battle tunic on David. He put a bronze helmet on David's head and dressed him in armor. David fastened Saul's sword over his clothes and tried to walk, but he had never practiced doing this. "I can't walk in these things," David told Saul. "I never had any practice doing this." So David took all those things off. It took his stick with him, picked up 5 smooth stones from the riverbed, and put them in his shepherd's bag. With a sling in his hand, he approached the Philistine.
Alright. So Saul gave David his armor, but David takes it off and decides to go with what he has, his sling and several stones. He's wearing his own armor. We must wear our own armor. Just because Saul went out and did many things in battle with his own armor, David never practiced with his armor, but God had an anointing on David's life, and he went out trusting in God. So he wore his own armor. He had his own anointing, and he had his own purpose.
What was that? Manuel, if you'll come back here, just switch sides over here, because when we're filming, you're in the background munching. So you just slide to a table or just slide over to computer 9.
And,
all right, so thank you. Sorry, Jordan.
We all have our own purpose in life, and God has given us our own anointing. We must take up our own armor and do the things that coincides with our purpose in life. Can you turn to Psalms 139:14?
129.
139.
14.
Yeah.
I'll give thanks to you because I have been so amazingly and miraculously made. Your works are miraculous, and my soul is fully aware of this.
Alright. David, the same one who slayed Goliath, wrote in Psalms 139:14 that he will give praises to God, for he was fearfully and wonderfully made. David says that God's works are marvelous and that his soul even knows, because God anointed David and gave him his purpose and was destined to wear his own armor, not that of Saul's. So everyone's anointing is different, and nobody else has the same purpose as you do.
Amen.
So nobody can do what. Okay, I have an anointing on my life. You have an anointing on your life. Ours is different. Okay. Like Peter and Paul. Peter couldn't do what Paul can do, and Paul couldn't do what Peter can do. It's two different things.
What you got, Ken?
So it's basically walk in your own shoes, like how they say you can't walk a mile in my shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
empathy.
yeah, it's like, okay, a father and son. Father goes to this college for sports, and he gets injured, so he tries to live his life through his son and tries to get his son to do sports. but his son has a different purpose in life. So that's what it's basically.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's a great analogy.
And that's why that son is destined to fail. Yeah.
Pushing his life onto his son.
Well, that's what the and his father dies. Why not die as well?
And what else? Good. Anybody want to add anything to that? Anything to that? All right, so I'm going to close it off.